Well, this news of the victory in the Court of Appeal of Alberta yesterday, staying the worst parts of the sentence against Arthur Pawlowski's brother Dawid and Chris Scott, has just been ricocheting around in my mind like a pinball. I'm thrilled with the result, but it's done more than just give me some hope for the particular clients. It's given me a hope that in general, maybe we will see some return to rationality and the concept of checks and balances. You know, the idea that the different branches of government hold each other to account, that the judiciary can limit the excesses of the executive and the legislature. It's given me a little bit of hope, but I have only heard about it through Sheila Gunn Reid, who was live tweeting the court. She was watching online, as court cases are these days, and was live tweeting it. She was there, and I'm delighted to call her in now to join us with a personal update. Sheila, it's great to see you. I am so hopeful about this case.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we've seen a lot of victories. I would definitely call them victories along the Fight the Fines case pipeline. We've seen those. But what's happening with those is the Crown is withdrawing the expensive tickets before we get to a place in the process where we can set legal precedent by fighting the ticket and winning the ticket. The Crown says, we're just going to withdraw. We don't want to get to that point. What happened here is totally different. We went all the way and we got to the sanctions portion and we appealed the sanctions while we appeal everything else. And what Justice Strecker ruled yesterday was a complete and total rebuke of Justice Adam Germain, who ruled that not only are Chris Scott and the Pawlowski brothers prohibited from traveling around the country and telling people what is exactly happening here in Alberta on the ground, but they have to preface every single public statement not with just the government's line, but the more and more I think about it, it's really Justice Adam Germain's words that he ordered be put in the mouths of these men before they make any statement critical of lockdowns, vaccines, and government restrictions.
You know, it's truly incredible, and I know that every judge is appointed by a politician, but some judges, before they sit on the bench, have a stellar career in the law. They're skilled litigators or outstanding experts in contract law or constitutional law, and they really are so smart that people of any stripe say, wow, that guy's or that girl's so smart, we got to get them on the bench because they're going to help improve our country. That was not the way Adam Germain got on the court. He was a failed liberal politician, and Jean Chrétien has two big gifts for guys like that. Put him in the Senate or put him on the bench. Both are appointments till age 75. And unfortunately for the country, he put Adam Germain, liberal, failed politician, on the bench. And who knows how many bizarre judgments he's dealt out over the years. But he's been exposed, I think, by this case. And his raw fury, and I think bigotry against the Pawlowskis, very disheartening when it happened. But wow, do I feel good that the Court of Appeal has slapped him down.
Yeah, I mean, it's really something to see, because if this judgment were just left hanging there, this would be something that could be used against other lockdown critics going forward, people who find themselves on the wrong side of a secretly obtained court order, as was the case here. This could have been just a precedent. I sat in on all these court hearings where the lawyers were referencing other cases of lockdowners receiving large fines, just to put into context for the judge what should have been done here. So this would have been out there as, you know, a comparable case for other people by which to ask a judge for these sort of similar sanctions. Yeah. But we should note that Alberta Health Services, as out of control as they are, as wild and crazy as they are, as sinister as they are, getting this court order secretly obtained ex parte without letting the Pawlowskis' lawyer Sarah Miller know, or Chad Williamson, who's the lawyer for Chris Scott. Alberta Health Services never asked for the travel ban. that was levied against these men. Alberta Health Services never asked for the compelled speech order either. That is something that Justice Adam Germain just cooked up in his own head. Alberta Health Services knew that this would look pretty gross if they asked for anything beyond expecting the men to comply with the public health orders of the day, because for Alberta Health Services, so they say, this was always about keeping the community safe. I'm not so sure about that. Feels like it was about teaching everybody a lesson. And they wanted fines and community service and court costs. They got all that, but Judge Germain cooked up this other stuff that nobody asked for. On the flip side, though, Alberta Health Services, they sure didn't object when Germain ordered these things into the judgment. And they were there yesterday fighting to keep them in. So while they didn't ask for them, they were more than happy to have found out that Germain just went off script and did his own thing.
Yeah. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.